All right, salt dough, orange trees coming right up. So we are ready to make our orange tree scene. What I've gathered is my salt dough that I've made all balled up. I've gotten some cardboard. This was just from a box, so I cut this out. Definitely ask an adult for help cutting a cardboard piece. This is probably about 1.5 feet long and then 1 foot wide. So you can kind of see how big it is for my hands. All right, I'm going to flip it over on the back, and with a pencil or crayon, I want to write my name and write the date. So I'm going to write January, short for January, 2021. All right, so I've gotten some crayons together because before we start putting the salt dough on here, we want to give a little bit of texture and detail to the background. So all I'm going to do is take my crayon and just make curly lines from left to right. Right underneath, curly lines, up and over, curly lines. And this is just so the background is not just plain blue. Then I want to grab, or just plain brown. I want to grab a lighter blue crayon and make some curly lines maybe in between the other ones I just made. Around and around and around. This part does not have to be perfect. It's just to give a little bit of color for our orange tree scene. All right, I'm going to add some white, like the sky. Peel my paper down if it's getting too close to the paper. Peel it off. All right. Press down really nice and hard because crayons can be too light if you don't press enough. And last row. Okay, so we are going to start with the branches because everything comes off of the branches. And I'm going to use my purple salt dough, and what I want to do is just pinch off a little bit. Maybe about half of it because we're going to do the main tree branch. All right, right now it's a ball. When you are working with clay, you can make something called a coil. A coil is like a strip of clay, and you're going to need your hands to move back and forth. So first you want to do, or to make a coil, first you want to make a ball. And to make a ball, we know you just put the clay in your hand and kind of roll it around. Roll, roll, roll. All right? And then you want to take your clay and make sure I don't get any cracks. I want to make sure you don't have cracks. Or as few cracks as you can get. If you have any cracks, that might mean it's a little bit dry, so you can always have a little bit of water next to you like this. I'll add a little bit. Roll it. All right, let's make that coil. Putting it down, I'm going to take my palm and go back and forth, or up and down. And what you can see is it's starting to make a rectangle. It was a sphere, and now it's becoming a rectangle or a coil. And you want to go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. All right, it's starting to get wider than my hand. That's where I can now use two hands. It almost looks like a caterpillar body. All right, up and down, up and down. And I want it to be about this thick because I want it fairly thick for my main branch. All right, my main branch, I want to go up through the middle of my cardboard. I don't need glue, I don't need tape. I'm literally just going to take my fingers and start pressing my tree branch down to my cardboard. Press it this way. If it looks like it's coming off the cardboard at all, you can always take a little bit of water, and I'm just dipping that in with my fingers, literally dipping it in there, not scooping it, and lift it up and put a little bit of water underneath. But it looks like mine was pretty good, so I don't need to add that. All right, it's kind of pressed down. This is the thick part of my tree branch. Now let's make some of the tree branches that go off to the side. All right, you make your ball, roll it around, then on a flat surface, start rolling your coil up and down, and you'll be amazed at how much it just gets wider and wider with time. All right, this is already narrower than my tree branch, so I want to attach it here. And I want it to kind of go off like a V or backwards Y. Making sure it overlaps a little bit, don't leave a little gap, overlap it a little bit, and just press it down, and it should kind of squeeze out. All right, press it down. It looks good. All right, let's make the other. Pinching off a little bit, circle, coil. I'm going to make this a little narrower so it can go longer, and I want it going up here. All right, this feels like it's coming off a little bit, so I'm going to dip my finger in water, peel it up very carefully, and put water underneath the coil on my cardboard, and then press it down, and the water acts like glue. It's amazing. A little bit left. Coil. I might pinch this in half. Put one going up this way, up this way. And you know, if you're watching this and you think this maybe looks too thick, you can always make yours look a little thinner. I think on my next one I might make this one a little bit narrower. All right, and put it here. So look, we started with a thick tree branch, then we added a little bit narrower, and then the last ones were the narrowest or the thinnest. All right, this looks like it's coming up. You know what to do. Dip your finger in water, peel it up, put it on the cardboard, and press back down, and that salt dough should stay on there nice and good. Okay, I love how this is looking. This is where you can add some texture. Right now, this only has texture from my fingers. If you have something like a meat tenderizer, it kind of has these textures on it from your kitchen. You can literally pound this. That's actually how I got this texture. You can kind of see it up close, or this one shows it a little better. So that's made from a meat tenderizer. I literally just kind of pounded this. I don't have a meat tenderizer right now, which is why I'm going to just use the tip of a pencil and just make some dots. And this is just to give some texture to my tree branch so it's not so flat. Oh, that came up. Add some water. And the best thing about salt dough is that you don't have to bake it for it to dry. You can definitely bake salt dough, but we're not going to bake this on the cardboard. If you make like sculptures from salt dough, you can definitely bake those and they'll get really hard. But since this is nice and flat, it won't need to be baked because we don't want it too thick. It will dry out pretty well. All right, there's some texture already. And now we are ready to start making the oranges. All right, so the oranges are easy peasy, you guys. If you can make a tree branch, you can make oranges. We want some to be big, some to be medium, and some to be small, so that it looks like some are ready to pick off the branches, some are still growing, and some are almost ready. Okay, all right, I'm going to make sure my salt dough feels good. If I notice any cracks, I add a tad of water, not a lot, just a little bit, and knead that dough just as if I was making it. Sometimes it gets a little bit dry if it's sitting out, so just a little bit of glue or a little bit of water makes it good as new. Okay? All right. Pinch off. And for this, you really don't need a whole lot. I'm just going to grab this amount. Okay? Roll it into a ball. We are not going to make a coil because we want our oranges to be circular, have a circular form. All right, here's where I literally place the ball right onto a tree branch. I don't want to put it off of the main tree trunk. That would maybe look a little strange. I want to put it on the tree branches. So I'm going to place one right here. And with my palm, I'm going to literally press down this ball. All right. Carefully lift my palm up. Ooh, there it is. You might have to kind of press it down a little bit more. Make sure it's nice and secured. Okay, and there we have it. So it's not flat. It is coming off the cardboard, as you can see. And we're going to leave it there for now. Let's keep making some more. Pinch off a little bit more. It could be the same size or smaller. I would not go too much bigger than that. All right, I have a ball. I'm going to choose where I want it. Right there. Let's press it down. And carefully peel up. Whoop. If it's sticking to your hand like it just did on mine, you can always just kind of form it again and make it circular. And it should stick pretty easily if you just kind of pinch it back down. All right. Look how I put some of my oranges kind of on top of my tree branch. I didn't just leave them out in the open with nothing to attach to. I want it to look like they're growing from my tree. All right, get my next ball. Let's put it up here. You can even use your fingers, but I like how the palm kind of makes a nice even texture when you press it down. Again, if it feels like it's going to come off, you want to add some water. Water is glue with salt dough. Press it down. The more you press, the bigger your orange gets. All right, let's make a tiny baby orange. Here's my pinch. Roll into a ball. Make sure it doesn't look like that. That's a coil. We want it to be a sphere or a ball. You make that by rolling it around in your palms. Okay? Put the tiny one at the top. Press it down. Whoops. It's wanting to come with me. Need some water. Lift it up. A little bit of glue. And look how I'm just kind of pressing it in. Pressing lightly. All right, let's make one big one. All right, this is the last orange I'm gonna make just because for time, but when you are making yours, you can make as many as you want. I would include at least 5 oranges. I wouldn't do 3 or 2. That's gonna look not enough. So I would include at least 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press it down. And lift. Oh, that really just wanted to come with me. All right, let's do that again. That's okay. Might need a tad more flour. So I had the flour next to me. Just use that. press it down. All right, nice big orange, ready to pluck. Okay, all right, those are our oranges. And now it's time for us to make our leaves. Leaves are really fun because they really bring your whole salt dough picture to life. And I am going to just wake up that green salt dough with a tad of water since it feels a little dry. Wake it up, say, come on, green, let's go. Let's make some leaves. Again, folding it into itself. Clay is so much fun to work with. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, all right. This is nice and mixed. I'm going to grab just a little bit. The leaves are pretty tiny. You really don't need a whole lot. I grabbed about that much. Roll it into a ball. And what I want to do is just pinch it just a little bit in the middle. And then take my finger and press. And I can pinch it on the end, kind of like this. Boop, boop. And then it kind of looks like a leaf. All right, let's put her down. Whoop, this got a little sticky, so maybe I need a little bit more flour. Okay. All right. I'm going to take my leaf shape, and the salt dough is so easy to form to make a little bit of a point. All right, I want to put leaves at every single orange. Pressing it down. I'm overlapping the end onto the orange like that, and I'm going to press it down, keeping that little pinch going for the tip of my leaf. All right, let's make another one. This might need a little bit of dough or flour, so don't worry if you kind of have to go back and forth with the water and the flour. You do what you think the salt dough needs, because it's no fun working with super sticky stuff that won't come off your fingers when you're working with teeny tiny leaves. Okay, pinch a little bit, roll it into a ball. All right, I might make a little coil for this one, teeny tiny coil. Okay, pinch it. All right, kind of looks like that, a little bean. All right, let's press it down. Pinch it at the corners or at the top. There we go. Let's keep going. Little bit. Roll into a ball. Coil. Pinch. Nice and easy. Oh, you know, that leaf is too big for that orange. I'm going to move it to another one. This one works better. Overlap it on the orange, pinch it at the top. Add some water if it needs it. Try to press it down. Roll a ball, make a coil. Ooh, I want some less for my smaller oranges. Look, I still have this much green and I've only made a couple leaves. Press it on the orange. There we go. All right, oop, my lights flipped off, so I need to get those back on, and then we'll continue. All right, so what we're going to do is go ahead and add some texture. Right now I have some beautiful oranges, but I want them to have that texture that oranges often have. They have this little dotted texture. So with the tip of my pencil that's kind of dull, not too sharp, I want to just make some little dots around the edges, around the leaf. Not too many, just a few on each orange. I'm literally poking my little pencil in, and I want to make sure I do this early because you don't want the salt dough to dry You not be able to poke. You don't want to like wait a day and then try to do the texture. Do it after you make the oranges. See, I'm kind of putting them on the bottom near the leaf in little groupings. There we go. All right. Okay, for the leaves, you can get super fancy and do what I'm doing right now, or you could just leave them plain. And I'm going to just make a little line from the bottom of the leaf to the tip of little teeny tiny dots, and that looks more like a leaf. You don't have to do that. If you're like, Miss Wright, that's too hard. That's totally fine. I want you to make your orange tree branch however you can, whatever you think you can do. Okay, all right, our oranges are done, our trees are done. We'll have to leave off of that. You can do that on yours. It's time to have fun and make the bird, as you guessed it. All right, to make the bird, first we want to make sure our salt dough or blue salt dough or pink salt dough, whatever color you are using, is nice and mixed. Usually it gets a little bit dry on the outside, so just mix that together. Now we're good. Okay, we're going to make a circle, sphere, roll it in our hands, just like we've been doing with the oranges. You even start your coils that way. Roll it in. And now I kind of want to smush it. And it's a circle right now, and I'm going to smush it to make an oval. Boop, boop. I'm going to make an oval. Now I want to press it down. I want the bird to be sitting right here. So I'm going to press it down, nice and easy. Make sure it's not too thick. And this is going to be the body of the bird. The body of the bird is an oval. That's a sphere that we smushed a little bit. All right, let's make the head. The head will be a circle. Grabbing a little bit, put it up here. All right, oval, circle on top. Press it just like you did with the oranges. If things are overlapping, that's okay because that's more realistic. Okay, for the little tail, I want to grab just a little bit and just almost like I was making my leaves, make a circle and then a mini coil. And I want it to be skinnier at one end, just like a leaf. And I'm going to make the tail angle off the end and smush it. Make it nice and wide at the top and narrower at the bottom. All right, you are not required to make this bird. If you want to be up for the challenge, then I say you should do it. But it's really fun if you do want to try. All right, he has no eyes, so that's where I might want to use some of my plain salt dough. Literally just grab a little pinch, make a teeny tiny little circle. Look how tiny that is. And press it on his head. Take my pencil, press a little dot. Oh, this is adorable little eye. All right, let's make the beak. Look, I already have some orange. Perfect. All right, roll it into a ball. Look, I'm using a single circle or single finger because it's so tiny. I want to make it into a coil. Beaks have a point at the end. So I'm going to put it right here, overlapping a little bit. Press. I need some water. Press, press. All right, guys, we are almost done. All right, for the feet, let's make itty bitty baby coils. Oop, get some of those other colors off my hand. And I'm going to make this itty bitty coil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch it in half and just put it right at the bottom. pressing down. If that gets too technical for you, you can always just leave off the feet. Oop, mine got a little wavy, but that's okay. Oop, actually, I'm gonna leave one. Just one. Okay, now I'm gonna add some feather texture. Oh, I forgot, I wanted to add a little wing. Let's add the little wing. Let's make a circle. And I'm gonna make kind of a leaf shape. That's a mini coil. Make it skinny at the end. If you're doing this or you're watching this and you're like, Miss Wright, I don't know if I can do this. Again, you do whatever you are comfortable with. Salt dough is just fun playing with on its own. But see if you can make this picture. If all you can do is the oranges and the tree branch, then you go for it. I'm happy that you tried. Okay, I'm going to take my pencil and add some feather texture. I'm going to keep it on its side. Instead of making a point, I'm going to lay it down asleep and just make little tiny lines on the edges of my bird wing, okay? On the tail, look how I'm doing this, laying the pencil down to sleep right here, 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 and there. See that texture? All right. Okay, guys, that's it. This is a big project, as you already know. So you guys are going to get some time to do this, and just remember, if you try your best, then you succeed. Don't give up. Don't stop it in the middle and say, oh, it's too hard. Keep going. If you forget any tips, watch the video again. Remember, if things aren't sticking down well, then add a little bit more water because water is like glue. I'm going to warn you, right now my beautiful colors are nice and bright. Over time, they're going to fade a little bit. So you can tell this is what I've already made. My orange used to be about that color. It's faded a little bit, but that's okay. And that just kind of adds to the texture. Oh, one thing I did in this too, which you can do, is you can put leaves on the edges of the branch. Not all of them have to be on an orange. You can put them on the edges and add more leaves to your tree branch. Once you are done, take a photo of your artwork. I want to see these and email them to me to my email. And if you email me your artwork, you can go ahead and look at our Google Classroom page because I will be posting everyone's artwork to see. Unless you don't want yours posted, that's fine. So we can see what everyone is creating. Okay, guys, please message me if you have any questions, and good luck making your salt dough orange trees. Bye, guys.